do the right thing. Think about your policies, folks. It would be beneficial to you.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Appraiser Coach Podcast. My name is Dustin Harris, and I'm the Appraiser Coach. This episode is sponsored by a couple of great companies. Of course, Spark for appraisers. Spark is your ability to enhance your appraisal reports without putting in any extra effort. That means it's more money in your pocket, folks. Spark4appraisers.com. Again, Spark4appraisers.com. And Working RE Magazine. Just got off the phone with my good friend Isaac Peck. Love that guy. Lots of great information that can be found at Working RE Magazine because they stay on top of the industry for you. WorkingRE.com, WorkingRE.com. I want to talk to you today about a dilemma. Now, I had a rule in my office that if you've got a problem, come to me, talk to me, but have a solution too. Have a suggested solution, right? If something's not going right, don't just come and complain, but come and complain and then say, but I've got an idea how we can make this better. Unfortunately, I am going to be a bit of a hypocrite today because I have a dilemma, or I'm seeing a dilemma in the appraisal industry, and I don't have a solution except to tell the players to just stop it. There's a great Newhart episode. Bob Newhart does. It might have been an SNL skit that he did where he was a therapist, and someone came in and talked about their, OCD or something like that, and his solution was, "Well, stop it. Just stop it." That's my solution today, folks. Just stop it. There is a stupid thing that is occurring in the world today, and I don't really know the reason for it. My guess is, and it's just a guess, but my guess is this comes from the problem of too much bureaucracy. Okay. So things happen, and supposedly we want to believe that they happen for a reason, right? Decisions are made because there are issues to deal with. There are things problems to deal with, okay? Or enhancements to be made, right? Quality control to be checkmarked. And sometimes the rule over here does not necessarily represent the rule over here, okay? In other words, those two things are not talking. Somebody made a decision over here to better something, or at least in their mind, better something. And then someone else, or maybe the same person or organization, made a rule over here to solve this problem, right? And the problem is these two things are in conflict, or at least they don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, okay? And that is the situation that I want to present to you today. And again, my encouragement today is not to just complain. My encouragement is to put it on the table and ask the players in the marketplace. I don't have any, I don't sit around that table, okay? Let's put it that way. I can't go to the next meeting of AMCs and large lenders and sit down and say, "Hey guys, let's fix this problem." Okay. All I've got is this little microphone, and I'll do my best to get the word out there, but hopefully someone somewhere is listening to this episode who can make a difference, or at least get the conversation going. Okay. What is the problem? Dustin, lay it out there. Stop teasing. Let's just get to the chase. Cut to the chase. What is it that we're talking about here? Well, it's the dilemma or the dichotomy. Okay. Someone asked me, what's a dichotomy? It's a very fancy word. It means it just doesn't make sense, right? It means that on one hand, you got this, on the other hand, you got this, and they don't make sense together. Okay. It's the dichotomy that when you are a trainee with certain lenders, with certain organizations such as AMCs, And this is not all of them. This is not across the board, which gives me hope that this can be changed, right? If certain lenders are doing this, that means this is not a Fannie Mae thing. It's not an FHA thing. It's not a, name and fill in the blank thing, right? This is not a big issue problem. This is a small issue problem. This is a fractured problem with certain AMCs and lenders. Okay. And the problem is this: with certain entities who hire appraisers, you seemingly have more flexibility to collaborate with other appraisers as a trainee than you do as a fully licensed or certified appraiser. What am I talking about? Well, it basically comes in this form. If I, Dustin Harris, were to hire a trainee and to reach out to a number of different companies, and I'm not going to use names, but we all know who they are, right? And I reach out to them and I get on their quote unquote panel, and I get my trainee on their panel. Most of these companies will allow me to take my trainee out and do the inspection and then do the report together, what have you. In fact, many of them will allow me, once the trainee is satisfied as far as the state board goes, their qualifications, where in Idaho, it's up to the appraiser, the supervisor, to determine when this is. There's not a certain number of appraisals, inspections that a trainee has to go on before they can do it themselves. But once that is satisfied, meaning the trainee has met the threshold of being quote unquote qualified to inspect, I can send that trainee out to do an inspection for me, give full credit, being completely open, not in the shadows here. We're working right out in the open. We're following USPAP. We're giving credit where credit is due. They can do that all day long and help me as an appraiser. Once that individual gets licensed or certified, that in many cases is gone. In other words, you seemingly are more qualified as a trainee than you are as a certified or licensed appraiser. Tell me how this makes sense. I'll tell you one thing that does make sense, and that is saving money by utilizing technology to help you within your business. Folks, if you are not currently using Spark, you are losing money every single day. Spark is like lightning, folks. It is so quick, so fast, and so helpful. You take the data from here, you put it here where it belongs, and you don't have to do anything but press a button. Check them out by going to spark4appraisers.com, spark4appraisers.com. Right before I came on this episode, folks, I was reading an article from Isaac Peck with the VA, and great information about the AAPP program and about what they're doing with the PAVE program and where the VA is going in general. Folks, great information if you want to stay up on what's going on in the appraisal world and you don't have to go everywhere to find all the information. It's all synthesized in one place, and that is Working RE Magazine. Check them out by going to workingre.com. Sign up for their free newsletter, workingre.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out in the podcast chair. Yeah, it's getting a little chilly out there, folks. I've donned the vest over the last little bit. I love this vest. It's a Carhartt vest. I think it looks good. It's classy. It's very warm. I always thought vests were weird. It's like, why would you wear a vest when you can wear a full coat? And now I know. You keep that core warm and you're warm everywhere. It's great. All right, folks, we're talking today about this dichotomy. And again, I don't have a solution other than to shout out to these companies, to these lenders, to these AMCs, and ask them to reevaluate how silly this is. This is the way it looks in reality. And we talk about this all the time in my mastermind. That's the reason for the episode today. Recently was at a mastermind and talking to the people around that table. These are high-performing appraisers who are pushing the limits of success when it comes to appraisal. And they're doing it by sharing the wealth, by bringing other people into their organization, by helping them to be more successful as well. And part of the time they have trainees. And it's not infrequent, folks, that we have this conversation go something like this. I've got this trainee, and this trainee does 90% of my inspections. I've set it up to where all these clients allow me to have trainees to go out, and this trainee's been with me for 2.5 years and been on a bunch of different inspections. They know what they're doing, and they're about to get licensed, and I'm screwed. And of course, someone will say, well, what? You don't want that person licensed? No, because once that person becomes licensed, I can't send them out to do my inspections anymore. I have more ability to send them out to do inspections now than I will once they get licensed or certified. Now, how silly is that? Think about it for just a second. Everybody around that table feels the same way because they all say, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to think that somebody is more qualified as a trainee to do inspections or to do whatever than they would be as a fully licensed or certified individual. So some of these entrepreneurs around the table hope, not for the sake of the person, right? They have a good relationship with this individual. They want them to succeed. But as far as their business goes, it would be better for them not to be certified, not to be licensed. They're demotivated in helping them to get certified or licensed because it reduces their ability to be able to collaborate with them with the current clients that they have. Now, folks, I will just end with this. We hear often in the news that there is a shortage of appraisers. Now, they may not be saying that much anymore, but a couple of years ago, that was the big mantra. It was being shouted from every rooftop, right? We have a shortage of appraisers, especially in rural areas. We have a shortage of appraisers. I don't know that I ever believed that, but let's just, for argument's sake, pretend that that was the case, that there was a shortage of appraisers. Folks, if there is a shortage of appraisers, so much that we have to create the PARIA program and all these other things that they've created to push this narrative, right? To push the idea that we have a shortage of appraisers and we have to do something about it, okay? If that were the case, why can't we do some common sense things? And I've been saying this for a very long time. In fact, from the first year I was coaching, I remember being in front of a group in Las Vegas teaching at a conference, and I said these words more or less. This is a summary, but more or less, I said, folks, if the clients are concerned with turn times, if our clients are concerned with quality of work, do the right thing and open up the opportunity for us to utilize the expertise of others, to utilize the law of delegation. My push, my concern, or my encouragement, let's make it positive, not a concern, positive, right? Glass is half empty or half full here as we close out. For me to say, do the right thing. Think about your policies, folks. It would be beneficial to you to say, hey, if you've got a trainee and that trainee becomes licensed or certified, we can still utilize that person the same as we did before. Disclose, sign, whatever it takes to make it compliant, but let's be smart. Speaking of being smart, folks, do you want to be around a table with 7 to 8 other smart appraisers? We were in Seattle just recently with 14 other appraisers for 2 days. Talk about an amazing experience. Would love to have you there. Check it out by going to my website, theappraisercoach.com, and look for the mastermind, the Dream Team Mastermind. Would love to have you be a part of it. Thank you for joining me.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.